What if I told you one of the Premier League's biggest clubs is considering a move that could shock the football world? Picture this, a star player, once seen as a rising star, now stuck in a limbo between two worlds. Reiss Nelson's story isn't just about a transfer, it's a microcosm of modern football's shifting priorities, and it raises questions about loyalty, value, and what happens when a club's vision doesn't align with a player's ambitions. Let me break this down for you. Here's the thing, Reiss Nelson is no longer just another name on Arsenal's roster. He's a case study in how clubs navigate the tricky balance between retaining talent and clearing squad clutter. You know how it goes, players get loaned out, they thrive elsewhere, but when they return, they're suddenly not part of the plan. That's Nelson's reality. And honestly, I think this situation says more about Arsenal's current identity than it does about Nelson's abilities. If a club can't see a path for a player who's already proven himself in the Championship, maybe it's time to ask why they're holding on to him. Now, West Ham's interest in Nelson is fascinating. They're not just chasing a name, they're making a calculated bet on promotion. But here's the kicker, dropping down to the Championship isn't just a step down in status, it's a gamble on a player's adaptability. What makes this really interesting is that West Ham's manager might have a unique connection to Nelson. Marco Silva brought him to Fulham, and now he's back in the picture. Is this a personal endorsement, or is it a desperate move to fill a gap? Either way, it's a bold play. Let's talk about contracts. Nelson is entering the final year of his deal, and that's a ticking clock for both him and Arsenal. Clubs love to use contract timelines as leverage, but I think this is a two-way street. If Arsenal wants to offload him, they'll need to ensure they're not losing value. A permanent move would be ideal, but a loan with an extension option? That feels like a compromise. And honestly, I wonder if Nelson's agents are playing both sides here. They've got options, Benfica, West Ham, even a return to the Championship. But what's the long-term plan for a player who's already bounced around? This whole situation also highlights a bigger trend, top clubs are increasingly open to selling players to lower leagues. It's not just about money anymore, it's about flexibility. Arsenal's willingness to let Nelson go, or even loan him out again, shows they're prioritizing their squad's current needs over nurturing long-term relationships. And let's not forget the other names in the mix, like Gabriel Jesus and Fabio Vieira. If Arsenal is actively shopping around, it's a sign they're preparing for a reshuffle. But here's the thing, selling Jesus for £20 million might be tempting, but Napoli hasn't even made an offer yet. Is that a red flag, or just a delay tactic? And then there's Tommy Setford, the young goalkeeper. His loan move is almost a given, but it's a reminder of how precarious life is for young players in big clubs. Ilan Messlier's arrival pushes him further down the pecking order, and that's the reality of being a backup. It's heartbreaking, but it's also a harsh lesson in the business of football. So, what does all this mean? It means that football is evolving, and players like Nelson are caught in the crossfire. Whether he ends up in the Championship or somewhere else, this move will shape his career, and maybe even challenge the way we think about loyalty in the sport. One thing's for sure, the next few weeks will be a masterclass in how clubs navigate the chaos of transfer windows. What do you think? Should Arsenal let him go, or is there still a way to make this work for everyone involved?